Imagine you're at a gathering, and the conversation quickly shifts to sustainability. Someone proudly mentions their electric vehicle, and another talks about switching to plant-based burgers, all in the name of saving the planet. But what if these celebrated green solutions aren't as flawless as they seem? Beneath the glossy marketing and eco-friendly branding, both electric vehicles and fake meat come with significant environmental trade-offs.
Let's dive into the deeper, hidden costs behind these so-called sustainable solutions and explore why they might not be the perfect fix we're led to believe.
Electric vehicles have been marketed as the future of transportation, promising zero emissions and a cleaner world. But behind the wheel lies a more complicated story. At the heart of every EV is its lithium-ion battery, which relies on materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Mining these resources causes widespread environmental damage, including deforestation, water pollution, and the destruction of ecosystems. Entire regions are devastated to extract these materials, leaving behind a trail of environmental degradation. Beyond the environmental toll, there's also a human cost. Many cobalt mines, particularly in the Democratic Republic of Congo, are notorious for dangerous working conditions and even the use of child labor, raising serious ethical concerns about the production of these so-called green vehicles. The challenges don't stop at production. Once an EV battery reaches the end of its lifespan, typically after about 8 to 10 years, disposal becomes a major issue. Recycling these batteries is expensive and technologically challenging, with most ending up in landfills. This creates a growing waste problem that undermines the environmental benefits EVs are supposed to offer. And while EVs don't emit carbon on the road, their reliance on electricity ties them to the energy grid. In regions where the grid is powered by coal or natural gas, the carbon footprint of charging an EV can be surprisingly high, diminishing the very emission savings that are their primary selling point. Now let's turn to fake meat, another darling of the green movement.
Plant-based meat alternatives are often positioned as the ethical and environmentally friendly choice over traditional animal agriculture.
But just like EVs, fake meat isn't without its flaws. The crops used to produce these alternatives, like soy and peas, are frequently grown using monocropping techniques. Monocropping involves growing a single crop over large areas, year after year, which leads to soil degradation, heavy pesticide use, and a loss of biodiversity. These practices harm the environment in ways that rival or even exceed some traditional farming methods. The production of fake meat is also energy intensive. Transforming plants into something that mimics the texture and taste of real meat requires extensive industrial processing. This process often involves the use of chemicals and additives, turning a simple crop into a highly processed product with a carbon footprint that's larger than most consumers realize. Additionally, fake meat must be transported and stored under refrigeration, adding yet another layer to its environmental impact. In comparison, locally sourced animal products often have shorter, simpler supply chains, making them potentially more sustainable depending on how they're produced. So why do electric vehicles and fake meat continue to dominate the conversation around sustainability? Much of it comes down to top-down policies and corporate agendas that prioritize numbers over meaningful outcomes. Governments around the world are incentivizing EV production with subsidies and setting ambitious quotas for adoption. Similarly, fake meat companies are enjoying a surge in investment and governmental support as they position themselves as the future of food. But this push often ignores the hidden costs and unintended consequences of these technologies. One major disconnect lies in how these solutions fail to align with consumer needs. The average person wants practical, affordable, and effective products, yet EVs and fake meat frequently fall short of these expectations. Electric vehicles remain expensive upfront, and their reliance on a still-developing charging infrastructure can make them inconvenient to own. Similarly, fake meat is often pricier than traditional meat and doesn't always deliver the flavor or satisfaction consumers are looking for. These shortcomings make it clear that both EVs and fake meat are solutions being driven by marketing and policy rather than genuine consumer demand. The situation becomes even more problematic when these products are introduced to developing countries. Electric vehicles, for example, require charging infrastructure and expertise to maintain, resources that many developing nations simply don't have. Degraded batteries in second-hand EVs add to the burden, turning these vehicles into liabilities rather than assets. Similarly, fake meat is unlikely to gain traction in regions where traditional, small-scale farming practices are already more sustainable than the industrial monocropping required for plant-based alternatives. These products often feel out of place in areas that need practical, affordable solutions tailored to local needs. So what's the alternative? The answer lies in embracing truly sustainable practices, rather than chasing trends driven by corporate marketing. For transportation,
This means focusing on improving public transit systems, making cities more walkable, and investing in hybrid vehicles or more fuel-efficient traditional cars as transitional technologies. In agriculture, it means supporting regenerative farming practices that restore soil health, promote biodiversity, and work in harmony with nature. Local food systems, where communities rely on nearby farms, can provide nutritious and sustainable options without the need for heavily processed alternatives. At the end of the day, the push for electric vehicles and fake meat reflects a larger issue: the tendency to prioritize appearance over substance. Both products have their place, but they're not one-size-fits-all solutions to our environmental challenges. The real path to sustainability lies in adopting holistic, practical approaches that address the root causes of environmental degradation without creating new problems in the process. It's time to move past the hype and focus on solutions that genuinely benefit the planet and its people. Let's demand better from the technologies we embrace and the policies we support, ensuring that our efforts to go green are as impactful as they are well-intentioned.